Hi everyone, this is Shannon from the irishscrapper.blogspot.com, and today I have a very cute spring card for you using a couple colors from the Brights collection: Tempting Turquoise, Daffodil Delight, and Whisper White. So let's go ahead and get started. For our card base, I have a piece of Tempting Turquoise that I've cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So essentially that is half of a sheet of our cards, our 8 1/2 by 11 Tempting Turquoise cardstock. I am also using a piece of Whisper White that is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of our Designer Series paper pack from the Brights collection that is cut at 2 1/2 by 4. And this is our double-sided paper, and I'm using the floral side. We're going to go ahead and kind of lay this down at an angle on the front of our card. So we'll start with that. Let me get those adhered. So I have my snail. I'm going to put a little bit on the back. Actually, I think I'll go this way. Okay, I'm going to put some more on our DSP. Okay, and then I am going to use a few scraps to create our flowers on the front of our card. The flowers that we're using are from the Flower Shop stamp set, and I am using the lower flower on the right hand side. We're going to stamp 2 of those in Tempting Turquoise and 1 in Daffodil Delight. So we'll start with that. Let me get my scratch piece of paper. And this stamp set also coordinates with the Pansy Punch. So this comes in a bundle, and when you order the bundle, you'll save 15%. So just keep that in mind as well. Also to know with this stamp set is it takes a little bit of aligning to get it set up with the punch properly. So you can see I have some marks on the back of my stamp set to help me line it up properly so that I can punch easily each time. So let's start with our Tempting Turquoise. And you can see I have my arrow pointing down. So I'm going to ink up my stamp. And we're going to stamp this twice. Okay, I'm going to clean my stamp on my Stampin' Scrub. And then we're okay, so there we have our 3 flowers, and I am going to use the flower punch from the Itty Bitty Accents punch pack, and we are going to punch 3 of these flowers from the Daffodil Delight. So on our original, I took 2 of the flowers from the Flower Shop and kind of just bent the edges a little bit, and I'm going to adhere those with a glue dot on this corner, and then I'm going to do the same with the last Tempting Turquoise one in the upper corner. So let me get my glue dots, and we'll go ahead and get those put down. So let me get the last flower on up here. That looks good. And then I'm also going to take my 3 Daffodil Delight smaller flowers, and I'm going to use a glue dot on the back of those as well. And then I'm just going to kind of group those in this lower right corner. Same thing, I'm just going to kind of angle or pull up on the edges a little bit to give the card a little bit of dimension. Very good. And then what I did is I took some of our Jewel Basic rhinestones, and I just took the smallest one, and I am going to add that to the center of the card, or of the flower rather. Okay, so there's the front of our card, and I did not stamp a sentiment on the front of the card. We're actually going to put that on the inside of the card. So on the inside of our card, I took a layer of Whisper White, and I stamped one of the flowers in Daffodil Delight, and then used the sentiment in the center. So let me go ahead and get that piece. The side layer of Whisper White is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to adhere that down to the inside of our card using our snail. And you just want to make sure you have it straight and give yourself room for a little border. It actually needs to come over a little bit more. Hold on. Okay, and then I'm going to bring back our stamp from Flower Shop and our Daffodil Delight, and we are going to stamp that flower in the lower left corner. Of our card. And then I've taken another scrap of the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to punch out our word window from this scrap, and that's what we're going to use to stamp our sentiment. So I am using the sentiment Get Well Wishes from the Teeny Tiny Wishes stamp set right here along the bottom, and we're going to stamp that onto our word window in the Tempting Turquoise. So I'm going to adhere this down first. In the center of our card. That looks good. And then we're going to go ahead and pull out our Tempting Turquoise, ink up our stamp very lightly with this little stamp, and we're going to stamp in the center. There we go. Up. And then I also am stamping on the back of the card using our Creatively Yours stamp set, and we are going to be using Made Just For You, and we will do that in the Tempting Turquoise as well. So I'll get that inked up also. Make sure we have this straight. Perfect. And then I also am using one of our Whisper White standard envelopes. I think they're called medium envelopes in the catalog. And I'm also going to stamp our flower in the lower left corner of that just to coordinate with this card. So I will re-ink the flower That looks good. And we will straighten this out and stamp in the corner. Okay, looks good. So that is our project for today. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to being back with you real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.